Alhamdulillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi wa natawakkalu alayh. Wa na'udzu billahi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. May yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa may yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Asyhadu an la ilaha illallah wa asyhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Sallallahu alaihi wasallam tabaraka wa sallama tasliman kasira amma ba'd. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wa man ahsanu qawlan mimman da'a ila Allah wa amila salihan wa qala innani minal muslimin. My dear brothers and respected elders, there is no one who can help us in time of difficulties, in time of miseries, calamities, except Allah. You know, this truth will come at the time when we have been tested by Allah with calamities, with troubles. Then we start to realize there is no one who can help us. There is no one who can solve our problems except Allah. You know, why Allah can solve all our problems? Sama? Allah is the Lord who can do anything which He likes. Only by the words, by the order be. He orders be, it's happen. It take place. If we say the problem is solved, it will be solved. Doesn't need anything else except the order be. There is no one who can do that. Understand? If a calamities come, Allah says, stop. It will stop. There is no more calamity. If Allah says, be calamities, the calamities will go on. Similarly as now, COVID-19, Allah doesn't say stop. Allah says, go on. So from one outbreak to another, to the third one, we wouldn't know when it will stop. But naturally, it is the order of Allah. Allah says, go on, COVID-19 infected the people of the world much more than it used to infected before this. Then, now the outbreak become more severe. The virus mutated to a new strain that infected more rapidly and rapidly, that make great number of people to be infected than before. So who can solve our problem? Our vaccine? If Allah want it, if Allah do not want it, it will not be of any help. A time will come and we say, no, nothing can help except Allah. That's what Allah wants us to say. To recognize His power. Why He give this COVID? So that we realize His power. We can't even combat and fight against the unseen, the invisible enemies of ours. You know, Allah doesn't give us an earthquake. You know, Allah doesn't give us great flood. Allah doesn't give us hurricanes. But Allah gives us only small virus, unseen virus, which we name it as COVID-19. Many people are out of job. Nobody is buying petrol. So nobody travel, planes are being kept in the hangar and even in the deserts because there's no place to park. No one want to travel. So planes are the great user of petroleum, isn't it? When the planes are not moving, the trains are not moving, then the petrol price come down. And then countries which are rich in oil will suffer, like Dubai, Abu Dhabi, all that Emirates, Saudi Arabia. They can't go on like this for more time. They become poorer now. There is oil, but there is no usage of the oil because we have a pandemic of COVID-19. The unseen, invisible enemies of ours. Where are they? But there is effects. In Pakistan, they don't bother. So as if there is no COVID. If somebody die, they will die. Okay, no problem. We have many more to live. But actually it's because of COVID. Their country say Tanzania, no COVID. It's not no COVID. They don't take care of it. They just say, okay, if we die, we die. COVID or not COVID, it's okay. If everybody die, okay. The country which fear death, they will take care. They fear that their people of their country will start dying in great numbers. They start to worry about it more than those countries who don't care. You die or you don't die, it's okay. COVID or not, it's okay. So it's no COVID lah. Isn't it? How many people died in Indonesia because of COVID? No statistic in China. So one of the ways to say there's no COVID is not to deal with the COVID. Let people die, bury them. But in Malaysia, if somebody died of COVID, they will take care. So that the virus will not infect other people. Nobody can attend his or her funerals. People who are attending to his funeral have to wear all sort of clothes, fully covered, to prevent, and the corpses are just being thrown into the grave. So my dear brothers, things are showing up now that entire mankind in the whole globe are not able to counter-attack this virus. Then they will come to realize there is no one who can solve it except Allah. This is what Allah wants actually. By giving us this virus, Allah doesn't want us to work hard, to save ourselves, to protect ourselves so much so that no one will be infected by the COVID-19. But Allah wants us to realize, to start to believe, the fundamental belief there is no God except Allah. That means there is none who can save us, protect us except Allah. And we all ask Allah to save us from this. And when all of us ask Allah and we are united in asking Allah, and we realize all over the world that Allah is our Rabb, our sustainer, our nourisher, then Allah will be very pleased and He will take away the COVID from us. Do you believe me or not? Or you don't? Sama? You believe that we still need to, to make research, get vaccine. But if Allah doesn't want to kill the virus with our vaccine, or make our immune system able to attack the COVID, it will not work. at last we will start to say, there's none who can help us. There's none who can protect us. Right? Except Allah. This is the meaning of La ilaha illallah. We are now pushing with the enemies which we can't have. We do not have any means to combat them again, except with the vaccine. America, China, Russia is saying that they are having vaccine. Let's use for the people first and see how. If Allah permit, it will work. If Allah does not permit, the vaccine will not work. So we must not rely on this vaccine. We must rely on Allah, especially the believers. We should not rely on other than Allah. We should always, think of Allah in times of calamities, miseries, infectious disease. In such situation like now, all the believers in the whole world should rely on Allah. What it means, should ask Allah. Should ask Allah to stop this COVID. Should make prayer. Not only in Jummah. Everybody, every single person should realize that there is no one who can stop this virus except Allah. Is Yazid making prayer? No. About COVID? No. He's not making. Okay, he doesn't come to that belief. There's none who can prevent us from this disease unless Allah. Stop it. So we don't make prayer. We should make prayer. But of course, if we make prayer, if Allah still want to make it flourish, we will go on. It will not work, especially prayers like Yazid. A person who associate Allah with his wife, making dua of no value. I'm making dua, but I think Allah did not accept. It's okay. I asked Allah to stop the virus 3-4 months ago. Then it stopped in Malaysia. But then it started again. Because instead of praising Allah, we praise other than Allah. So we do not like him. We must not praise others. Once the COVID-19 has come down, we must praise Allah and say, "Oh Allah, all praise be to you. You are the doer, you are the nourisher, you are the one who stopped." This is what actually Allah wants. Allah does not want us to do anything else except to believe in Him and to obey Him. That's what Allah wants. Allah doesn't want us to make vaccines. Allah says, "I give you this COVID-19 so that you make vaccine." No. It's not the reason. The reason as why Allah has given us this COVID-19 is because Allah wants us to go back to the belief that there is none who can solve, who can prevent us from having this COVID except Allah. And only Allah is the doer, the one who can make the COVID-19 have no power to attack on us. We do not realize this. We do not realize this, that the doer is Allah. The one who do everything is Allah. We don't. Unless Allah give us certain circumstances which will make us to realize there's none who can help us. If no circumstances arises, then we start forgetting Allah. All the time, we do not remember Him. He's there. He's watching over us. He's looking. He knows whatever we do. He not only certain way, each and every one, whatever we do, is known to Allah. So Allah is watching us. If we are not aware that Allah is watching us, then Allah will make you aware. And such of the thing which Allah have done in order to make us aware that He's there and He's watching us is He give us this flu, this infectious disease, COVID-19, all over the world. Anzala, do you realize this? That Allah is watching. Allah wants us to realize that He's watching us. We can't go on doing evils, Allah says. Some people, they go on doing evil, they thought Allah is not there. No, Allah is no. Allah is not watching. Then he got the consequences of his evil action, even in this world. Why Allah give the punishment in this world? So that the man will start to realize that Allah is watching them. Allah is there. If there is no Allah, there is no punishment, isn't it? If somebody say Allah is not, who give this punishment? This COVID-19? China. And this President Trump and many others too say the Chinese give this COVID-19. Chinese has no power to give harm or blessing. They don't believe in God also. What more to have power to give benefit and harm? The Chinese. Allah is the one who gives benefit and harm. There's no one who can give benefit and harm. So we call this COVID is harm. Who gave it? Allah. Who gave us able to drink water, to breathe? It's Allah also. There's no one who is able to create a mountain, able to create the sky, able to make the night turn into day, day into night, the moon. It's like all Allah. You go and say there's no Allah, where's your mind? You have no mind. You have no brain. Saying that everything happened without a doer, a maker, inventor. No. Everything is created by someone. Allah give us permission to create the car and all that. Do Allah give us permission to create the sky? Then if we are God, we can create sky also lah. Why we can't create the sky, the moon, the day and the night? How beautiful it was. Allah make the night, and the night is dark for us to sleep. And Allah make the day with the light for us to work. Allah says in the Quran, don't you think about this? Who is doing this? Who is making you having comfortable life? Having it who give you wife like Rashidi? Rashidi ever realize every day that Allah is giving him? That's why Allah say, you must be thankful to me. You must always remember me. So most of the time you don't remember. We tend not to remember him. When someone remind him about Rahman, asks about him, we start to be quiet, thinking when he will stop. Because we don't like to be reminded that our God is Allah. There is no one who can do except Allah. There is no one who give bad or evils or good except Allah. We don't like it. See when he will stop. So when we are in this situation, we don't like to hear the words of the truth. Then how could the truth be in our belief? It is not in our mouth. We don't even want to hear. Naturally, we don't like to speak it. And we don't like people speaking the truth to us. So how could we become the person who believes in the truth? So if we don't believe in the truth, like Sufyan, Gombak, he will never do the truth. Because he doesn't believe it. Why we do the truth? Because we believe. To follow the truth, we are going to please the Lord. And when He is pleased, He will make us happy in this world as well as in the hereafter. We have been made blind by the material things of this world. We tend to think that these are important. The entire material things of the world are created by Allah. It doesn't exist, it doesn't come into being on itself. So we must create the lover, we must create the one who have created all this material which we are in need of them. Not to love the material thing, but to love the one who created this material thing. Then we are come into sense. We don't love the created being, but we love the one who creates. For example, we don't love the wife more than Allah who created her. Like Yazid is a fool. He loved his wife more than Allah, while Allah is the one who created his wife. He shouldn't love the creation. He should love the creator. So when we love, our children, our wife, our work, more than Allah, we are real fools. We are not having mind to think. When we admire the river, praises the mountains, and we go sightseeing to beautiful country in the world and start praising, oh beautiful mountain, oh beautiful. Why we don't praise actually the doer, the maker, the creator of the mountain, of the rivers, the sea? Some people go to Maldives to see, Then they went to Pulau Perhentian in Terengganu. This is the real Maldives, they say, in Malaysia. Many people do not know. They praises the beauty of Pulau Perhentian. But they don't praise Allah, who has created that Pulau Perhentian. The seas are so clear, you can see fishes. I was there. It's beautiful, but we should praise the one who created the beautiful things of this world. But we forgot. If we go to the ancient people whom Allah has destroyed, like Pharaoh, like the people of Samud, people of Ad, their remnants are still exist until today. If we go, even then we don't remember Allah. When we see beautiful things, beautiful rivers, we don't remember Allah. We say, oh, I'm going sightseeing, traveling, in order to remember Allah. We are lying, we are telling lies. We don't remember Allah, we remember food only. Even if we go to the grave or to remnants of those people, of the ancient people whom Allah has destroyed, we see, we don't remember Allah. You believe me? In both cases, we don't remember it. Because we have not even tried to think as to who has destroyed, who has created, who has made. We never ask that question, who has created. If we go and we are seeing a beautiful place, who has created this? If anybody ask that question? No. They say this come, it come, it just happened, exists by itself. This is what the notion, which is wrong. It doesn't exist by itself. It's created by Allah. When we see our children, who has created my children? We never ask that question. When we see the sky, we don't ask who has created the sky. Have you ever asked? We just see the sky blindly and say, oh, it's okay. Nice and good. But you should ask further who has created it. And for what reason this has been created. Like Sufyan, never think. He's only thinking of his belly. And now he says, I somehow fulfill my belly, but my penis. The needs of my penis. He has a wife, and his wife had died for quite a long time. Ever since then, he hasn't got a wife. So he said, all my belly fulfilled, but my penis are not being. So he's trying to get a wife. That's all he's thinking about, his needs. The needs of his belly, the needs of his penis. But the need of his soul, he never bothered. Sufyan? Never bother. He never bother about the need of his soul. When the soul will be taken out from him, his belly will not work, his penis will never work. The most important part of his is his soul. And second, his mind. Then only his body. What the souls need? It needs rice? It needs vegetable? Fish? No. It needs us to obey the order of Allah, which Allah has given to us. Then only the soul will be at peace. Will be at peace, mutmain. Allah say, I swear, in the soul which are at peace. So, Allah give us His orders to make our soul at peace. We denied the orders of Allah. We do not want to obey. Then our soul will not be at peace, our mind will be not at peace, our body will be infected with diseases. These are the consequences of not doing the right of the soul. The soul doesn't need rice, vegetable, meat, fish and meats. It needs the orders of Allah. Amri Rabbi. If we disobey Allah because we don't believe in Allah, then we are endangering our soul. We will be making our soul to be burned in the hellfire. We are not doing justice to our soul. It means we are not doing justice to ourselves. What is ourselves? What are we? When somebody call Yazid, who is Yazid? Yazid is the soul. Not only his mere body. His mere body, when he died, people don't call it Yazid, they don't call. Because Yazid is no longer there. It's just his body lying, lying without any movements. People don't care, call him Yazid. Yazid no more there. He's been taken to his Lord. That is the arwah, they say. The skull upon which his soul was made to be in place. Now the soul has been taken out at the time of death, only his body. Then that body will be buried in the land. So, and the soul enter into, they call it the hereafter, the life of the hereafter. Now from the life in the womb, we're going to the life in the world. And then we go to the life in the hereafter. Our body is buried in the grave. Our soul are not there. Somewhere in the hereafter. In the grave of the hereafter. You understand? So we can't see snakes, serpent inside the grave in this world. It is in the grave of the hereafter. So we are in the life of the hereafter. So when this world is being destroyed, completely into pieces, into dust, Allah created another world in the hereafter. You understand? And the hereafter we can't understand how it looks like. The same as we can't understand when we are in the womb of the mother. We've been told after this, you'll be in the life of the world. We never see. We never understand. While we are living in the womb, people say when after this phase of your life, you will go into the world with mountains, big mountains. There will be cars, buildings. You say, where? I go around in the womb, turn round, I didn't see anything else except where mountains? Where the rivers? Where the sea? Once we are delivered into this world, then we say, oh. Now similarly, after we die, we are actually being delivered to the life hereafter. And that life hereafter, there will be what Allah has mentioned in the Quran. At that time only we remember, oh, it is true, oh, I was told, in the hereafter there is paradise, there is hellfire. True. What is the use of having the truth once we have been delivered to the hereafter? It's only in this world we have to believe in what Allah has told us in the Quran about the hereafter, and we have to prepare ourselves for the life hereafter. In the life of hereafter, we don't need money. No money is of any value, even million, trillion. It's only of use in this world to buy things, if ever it can be of any use to us. We can have a lot of money, buy a lot of buildings, buy a lot of cars. Is any use to us? We have 20 Rolls Royce. We can only use one at a time. You can't have 10 traveling with the Rolls Royce. The rest will be parked. We have fabulous hotels all over the world, 10, 20, hundreds. We only have the names, rich person, but we cannot have any benefit from any of the hotel that we have. So this world is actually deceiving us. We are thinking that we want to have many things because we want to live with comfort and luxury. Instead of that, we are living with pain and sorrow of trying to pay the debt, of having so many things. At the moment, those who have planes, they will have pain in their heads. How to pay, how to furnish this plane which I bought, private jet, where the money come from? Then we got paid. Pilots, stewardess who used to earn a lot of money, now they don't have money much. They're paid. How to pay all the things that which I have? Then finally, some of them who don't have faith in Allah, kill themselves and leave this world and go into the hereafter to be burned in the hellfire. So, my dear brothers, there is no peace and happiness in this world unless we have deen. Unless we make our soul unless we are obedient to the orders of Allah and make our soul at peace, then only we'll have peace and tranquility living in this world. If our soul is not at peace, even though we are surrounded with multitudes of buildings and gardens and women, we will not have peace. We keep on trying. Where does the peace come from? It comes from Allah. Allah doesn't give you the peace because you don't have the obedience to the order of Allah. If you want peace, people during in the 60s, they used to go around the world looking for peace. What do you call it? Hippies. They use this symbol, this. They don't get peace. Finally, they ended up becoming Hindu in India and started living like Hindus, yellow clothes, having little food. They are not being shown the guidance to the true path of Islam. So, my dear brothers, it is the time for us while we are in this world to make the decision to change our direction from disobedience to obedience to the order of Allah. From not believing there is Allah into believing there is no God except Allah. From not believing Muhammad is messenger of Allah to believing Muhammad is messenger. From not believing Quran is the book of Allah to believing the Quran is the book of Allah. We read the Quran. It is a book, a guidance from Allah. Through the Quran, we will be able to know who Allah is, what He wants, and we do according to what Allah has revealed in the Quran. Then we will reach to our purpose of life, our aims of life, which is to become the lover of Allah. And when we die and leave this world in a state of love, state of becoming the lover of Allah, surely and certainly will be received by all the angels on the way we present ourselves to Allah. It is a time to make the decision. We should not wait that I will change, I'll make the decision. Don't wait for that time. Do it now. Make the decision to change to the better. May Allah give you tawfiq to do that.